So I would say the main things that we discovered are that when women who are incarcerated by the Department of Correction here in Idaho submit what's called a PREA report, or a sexual abuse allegation against a prison staff worker, usually a guard, the Department of Correction is in many cases not taking those reports seriously. They're not tracking them properly, which they are required to do by law. And they're also not they're not handing down consequences for the men who are accused of that kind of sexual abuse. So essentially these women are left in the prisons in state custody with no way to get help, no way to keep themselves safe, and are often facing their own retaliation for making those reports in the first place. So in prison, consent is not possible according to the law, and that's because there is, as you can imagine, an extreme power dynamic there when it comes to guards and prison inmates. So when you're an inmate or when you're incarcerated behind bars, guards are in control of essentially every aspect of your life, from how restricted your housing is to when and what you're eating that day, family visitation, phone calls, whether or not you can purchase things from the commissary, and the list goes on and on. And so obviously if a guard, as we've heard in some cases, might suggest that an inmate do some sort of sexual favor for him in exchange for visitation with a family member, or a prohibited, contraband item that they might bring into the prison for this person, it's very hard for that woman to say no to the guard, because one, she wants those items. She wants whatever favor he's offering her, right? But secondly, even if she is willing to say no, there are many things he can do to make her time in prison much more difficult and much more dangerous. So for those reasons, the law does not recognize consent in any way in these cases. As most stories do, this one started with one woman telling us her experience, and I spent the next year almost, it's been over 11 months now, investigating how many other women this has happened to behind bars in Idaho prisons. I ended up talking to about 36 women, so over 36 women, who were either victims themselves of sexual abuse of some sort while they were in prison, or who witnessed or had direct knowledge of an assault like that. So we spent a lot of time really digging in to try to understand how often this was happening, where it was happening, and how it was happening.